All right, that brings us to the co-main event. Back to you, Petrie, at featherweight. 10th ranked Bryce Mitchell, minus 205. We have seen this price steadily climb on DraftKings Sportsbook towards Mitchell. 12th ranked Dan Ige, plus 170, was plus 140 24 hours ago. Now he can be had plus 170. He's won 2 in a row. And that team's got a lot of momentum right now. Sean Strickland, Daniel Zellhuber, among others. Mitchell on the other side has dealt with some injuries, some ailments, but he returns here. Does so with much fanfare, Bry. He's 15-1. Lone career loss, of course, came against Ilia Topuria. He was far less than 100%. I'm not trying to take away from the Spaniard, but his health was an issue for that fight. And then he had to pull out of a fight against Movsar Evloev due to a back injury, famously replaced, of course, by Diego Lopez. But now Thug Nasty is back, Bry, and he's a 2-1 favorite here against Dan Ige. Your thoughts?
I feel like I'm getting punked. I feel like John is going to take off a mask and it's going to be legendary coach, Diego Sanchez coach, Joshua Fable. I feel like I'm getting punked here. Why is Dan Ige the underdog? I mean, are we seriously right now? I've already loaded up at 140. I'm loading up again at 170. Nothing taken away from Bryce Mitchell. He's great. But if you look at his wins, Bobby Moffitt, 1-3, didn't make in the UFC. Tyler Diamond, Charles Rosa, not longer the promotion. Andre Philly was a great performance. Edson Barboza, a great performance. You can make the argument he's getting better, but now he's got some outside the cage stuff. He's got some ex-girlfriend stuff that's going on social media with the fruit trees and everything. I don't know if you've seen it. He's distracted, and I don't know if he's really excelling and getting better like I think he should. Dan Ige is a savage. We all saw what Dan Ige did against Nate Landwehr. Those stance switches, the switching up the stances and hurting Nate left and right. I think Nate's a better fighter than Bryce Mitchell. I think Bryce Mitchell is an entertaining guy. He's fun. Seems like a good guy to root for. I like rooting for him. He obviously was sick, fell ill, or was sick and looked sick against Topuria. I was there live. He was getting tossed all over that cage, which is surprising because he's this Arkansas strong farm boy that takes you down, lays on top of you, and beats you up, right? Hit a twister early on in his UFC career against Matt Sales, who, again, 1-3 in the promotion, no longer there. So his wins aren't stacking up for me. And Dan Ige's been in there with everyone. He's hard to take down. He's only at 56% takedown defense, but 90 of those came from against Movsar Evloev. I mean, that guy's a different level. So Dan Ige at underdog money here. I'm putting 3 units on it. I've already got real money on it. So let's go 3 units on Dan Ige here. I think this is a lock of the century. I couldn't believe it. I thought I was getting punked for a minute. But yeah, give me Dan Ige. I don't know if he's going to get a stoppage, but I like him. And we've been seeing this thing too, where grapplers tend to win fights. But then you got Sugar Sean O'Malley with the footwork taking out Aljo. You got Cyril Gahn taking out Sergey Spivak. So the tides are turning a little bit. Strikers are finding out a way to use their footwork and slow down some grapplers. And I think Dan Ige is going to do that here. Not to mention his cardio's through the roof. Team's on fire. Give me Dan Ige.
And defensively, Dan Ige is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Of course, there are levels to that game, but I can understand why people see value on Dan Ige, and increasingly so now, plus 170. KenFlo, before you make your selection, there is a reason why money has been pouring in on Bryce Mitchell. The rap album, the country rap album, is called Pasture Fire, and
nice.
Got a little taste for you folks here today.
Here we go.
Bryce Mitchell, Thug Nasty, Pasture Fire. Oh, so good. Just wait, KenFlo. Just fucking wait, dude. That's 70 seconds of your life. I feel like a DJ trying to fill this music bed before Bryce Mitchell takes over.
DJ Anik.
He's got bars. I've heard him.
Fighting is good, but that shit is sporadic. Gets it abundantly. I mean, you prefer Aljo's So Dumb or this at Anik Florian Pod? All right, Cody, you can say that for me. Thank you very much. The Darkensaw,
man.
The Darkensaw.
Let me ask you a question, Jay. I know you used to spit a little bit back in the day.
He's better than me.
He's better than you. All right. I didn't know if you were if you could get a hot 16 and better than Bryce.
He's better than me.
Okay.
So, but that's not freestyle, but I'm sure he's a better freestyle rapper than I. And he probably can write hip hop lyrics better than I can. That was pretty good. Yeah, I got to figure out a way to drop a Darkensaw though if this guy wins the fight. Bringing out the Darkensaw tonight. KenFlo, we need a selection here. Who do you have?
I could do that for you. Listen, I think that Bryce Mitchell does have a lot of things going on outside the cage. You know, obviously there's, you know, the relationship thing, but there's the injuries too. Like, how healthy is he right now? I know about back injuries, and they stay with you. And they can come back to haunt you at very odd times, especially when you're cutting weight.
Punch that.
Yeah. Especially when you're cutting weight and you're at the end of a training camp where you've been building up a lot of volume of training. So, yeah, I'm a little bit worried about that. But I'm worried about Dan Ige and the power that he has in his hands, the fact that he is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. He's not going to be lost on the ground. I do think Bryce Mitchell moves very fast on the ground. He's going to be very aggressive there, and you have to worry about a lot of different things, submissions, positions against Bryce Mitchell. But I think Dan Ige can do way more than just survive on the ground. And I also think that his takedown defense is getting better. He's not a perfect takedown defense guy, but I don't think he needs to be against Bryce Mitchell necessarily. I think he needs to be good enough to stop a lot of those takedowns, frustrate Bryce Mitchell, and land a big shot when he can. And I think if he could do that, not only can he win rounds, he could perhaps win by finish here. I think Mitchell can as well, but I just have too many question marks for me, and I think there's a lot of value on Dan Ige. I was hoping that Brian Petrie was going to go the other way with Bryce Mitchell, but come on, this guy's too sharp. Come on.
We'll see if that plus 170 sticks around. I find that very interesting. Both of you landed on that side, 30-cent price move in the last 24 hours. And Peter, we're going to need you to come in on Sunday too. All right, main event, 155 pounds, the division. All the others are chasing. Rafael Fiziev, minus 162. Mateusz Gamrot, plus 136. So Fiziev is coming off that absolute war against Justin Gaethje. He had been 7-0 in the UFC going in. And Gamrot, another just absolute warrior, repping American Top Team in Poland, coming off a split win over Jalen Turner at UFC 285 in March. Outstanding main event. I can't wait to watch it and not talk during it. And it's at the UFC Apex coming up here Saturday night. 25-foot octagon, KenFlo, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Fiziev or Gamrot in the main event for you.
Yes, sir. This is such a great fight, man. I think that early on, especially when Gamrot had that absolute nasty fight against Sarukian, I was super high on Gamrot, but I'm not sure I've seen him take it to that same level since that fight. I think that, there was, some good performances here and there, no question about it, but I think that maybe I overestimated his abilities a little bit too much. I think submission-wise, I expect a little bit more. Striking-wise, he hasn't made the adjustments or the evolution like I had hoped. Not to say he's bad there, not to say he's a bad fighter. He's a very good fighter, don't get me wrong. But I thought that coming off of that Sarukian fight that we would see his game really elevate. I just haven't seen that as much as I had hoped. And you're going against a guy in Fiziev who is an absolute killer. He's extremely difficult to take down. I think that when you fight a guy like Gaethje, you are going to learn so much about yourself, about your heart, about your technique, about your vulnerabilities, all of that, the pressure that he had to deal with. So I think we're going to see a Fiziev that is going to come in pretty damn hot, and I think that he's going to frustrate Gamrot a lot. And I think that if he's able to tire him out and if he's able to find those spots to take advantage of Gamrot on the feet, I think he will. And I think there's great value on Fiziev here. You know what? Minus 160. I don't think we're going to see that too often out of Fiziev against matchups that are similar like this. So I got to go for it, man. I'm in big trouble. Give me 5 units on Fiziev.
Hey,
yeah.
5-unit whacker on Rafael Fiziev for KenFlo. That is an $810 wager to win $500. Brian Petrie, the floor is yours. Who do you like in the main event?
Love that pick. Love that breakdown from KenFlo. This fight was really intriguing when I first got announced. I really dove deep into it. I love when a main event like stumps me, right? I got to dive in. I got to look at the tape. I got to go over the stats. And Gamrot is a guy who's super durable and tough. But in the Benny Dariush fight, what impressed me was he got rocked. And Benny can crack. And he got up, but he rushed so many takedowns. Instead of letting his hands go, he dove for takedowns and it wore himself out, and Benny was ready for it, and that just shut him down. It's, he's a very aggressive and good fighter, and he rushes takedowns too much when I think his stand-up is coming along pretty well. He's obviously good on the ground. Then you get Fiziev. Well, this guy debuts in the UFC, gets knocked out. I'm like, oh, this world-class striker gets knocked out, runs off some amazing performances. Had a little stutter against Bobby Green, in my opinion. Some people thought Bobby Green lost. He just slowed down. I thought Fiziev won. But then he gets Justin Gaethje, who was a majority decision loss. He won the first round, lost the final two, in my opinion. In the third round, you got chopped up a little bit, got bloodied up a little bit. But this guy's stand-up is so shiny. It's a shiny little polished tool. I love it. I love it. My only critique with him, and this is coming from a fathead kid from Cincinnati, my only critique from him is he kind of gets in this rhythm of like the Muay Thai kickboxing rhythm with his striking, and Gaethje read that by the third round. I wish he would be just a little bit more flowy, but that's the smallest critique ever. I think his stand-up is phenomenal. He looks to be in insane shape. We haven't really seen anybody really test his grappling. I've heard world's reviews about it in the gym, how hard he is to get down. He'll toss you on your fucking head. So this is going to prove it here. And he answered the question over the cardio. That's another thing. He's improving. Got knocked out debut, hasn't been knocked out since. Stuttered a little bit cardio-wise against Bobby Green, goes out there and finishes Rafael dos Anjos in the first round. He's proving himself constantly, taking it seriously. This is a guy that's lights out. I agree with Kenny. Price is low. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 units on it as well for my remaining 5. I love Fiziev here. I think this is going to be a banger of a fight. There's some questions that need to be answered, and I think we might have one here at 55, boys. I really do.